We've all heard of it by now. Helldivers 2 has essentially swept the internet, man. It's taken it by storm. Everybody's talking about this. Everybody's posting about it. I'm sure you've seen about it, heard about it by now, or you've probably played it yourself. It's a third-person co-op shooter made by Arrowhead, and honestly, man, it's a really, unique situation what's going on here with Helldivers 2, because so many people are just rooting for this company, rooting for the CEO of Arrowhead even, because honestly it just seems like they're doing everything right, and as of right now they've really done no wrong, other than of course the very obvious server issues that this game has had for a while. But as of me recording this, most of it's been fixed, and honestly I'm just really hyped for the future of Helldivers 2. Before Helldivers 2 came out, I had no idea this franchise even existed, and I had no idea, as I'm sure a lot of us didn't have an idea, that this game would blow up the way it did. I mean, Arrowhead, the developer themselves that made Helldivers 2, they didn't even expect this game to blow up the way it did. I mean, it's no secret that the game had a ton of server issues, and the servers actually being put to capacity, and then they had to increase the capacity. It's like 700,000 now, and that was increased from like 450,000, I think the number was last week. I mean, this game was breaking records left and right for concurrent players on Steam. It absolutely took over for a while, I think peaking at like 480,000 current players on Steam. It was really crazy, and it's been really crazy to witness, but it's also been really refreshing, because I have to say, one thing that I really appreciate about Helldivers 2 is just like the sense of fun that it's constantly encouraging. This isn't an overly competitive game where you're competing with other people and you're trying to just obliterate, talk shit, and just, absolutely destroy your opponent. No, it's you and either 3 friends or you and 3 strangers pairing up together, working together against either the automatons, which are like Terminator robots, or the other enemy that's in the game, which are essentially like space bugs, and those are called Terminids. And that's something that I really appreciate, because it's just you and strangers, facing and going up against insurmountable odds, and it's just that sense of like camaraderie that it can really give you that's really fun, and I appreciate that because it's refreshing. In my first few matches with this game, being somebody that had never played the games before, had no idea what he was doing, I paired up with 3 strangers. I'm playing on PS5, and I paired up with these guys here, and they helped me out. We had a really good time. It was a lot of fun, and they were showing me the ropes of the game and just explaining how a lot of different things worked. Unfortunately, because of those server issues that were going on when I was pairing up with these people, we actually got disconnected and we couldn't find each other, or I couldn't find them afterwards, so that kind of sucked. But it was a lot of fun, and I honestly really appreciated that, because I hadn't had an experience like that with the new game in a while. And I'm one of those people that if I'm playing a game by myself, if I'm playing like Titanfall or something, or anything that's just really online multiplayer, I'm not a fan of, talking to strangers all the time. I'm not going to lie. I just prefer playing with my friends. I prefer playing with people that I'm comfortable with in real life, people that I know, and people that I've been gaming with, since I was a little kid. But with a game like this, it encourages that. And a lot of times you really have to use your mic, or you really should. And if you don't, you don't always have to. It's definitely wrong for me to say that. But if you don't, you'll always use your mic. You're going to find that sometimes, you die a lot faster because you didn't strategize with your team, because you didn't coordinate certain things, or because maybe you walked into one of their orbital calls or one of their eagle calls, and that just, that's what happens if you don't know that that's what's going to happen, and if you're not paying attention, or if your teammates don't tell you what they're calling in. So I just appreciate the fact that Helldivers 2 just encourages that, not only the fun factor of it, but just being able to communicate and talk to new people and potentially make new friends. Apart from that, I feel like Helldivers 2 just nails, graphics and presentation and art style. It's a game that, of course, is very sci-fi inspired and takes a lot of inspiration from different things like maybe Halo, Destiny, different sci-fi IPs and properties. You can probably, name them, and the list would go on and on. A lot of people have mentioned, and of course I'm sure you've seen, like the sudden rise of popularity for the Starship, or what is it, Star Citizen movies? I'm forgetting the name, but I'll put it up on the screen right now. And it's definitely been really cool to see that, and it's really interesting and unique, in my opinion, to see that this game has, such a clear inspiration from different sci-fi properties. I think that this game has tons of potential for customization, and if I'm going to be honest, that's probably the number one thing that I feel like this game could really improve on right now, or going forward. It's just something that I expect and I look forward to seeing being improved on, because the customization in this game is pretty cool. You have your armory and your ship, because if you don't know, everybody gets their own personal ship. You can go in your armory, you can mess with your helmet, you can mess with your armor and your cape, and so far there have been a couple of really cool ones added to the shop that I've actually bought, because it doesn't break the bank. And I've actually seen the CEO of Arrowhead himself say that, he believes in being able to earn the right to monetize in game. And I'm sure you've seen like the countless based people will say tweets that he's made on Twitter, and just the fact that so many people are even rooting for a CEO of a company in this day and age with a AAA game, or a game that has the success that's like a AAA game. It's really rare to see, and it's something that I also really appreciate, because I love the fact that Arrowhead and the CEO of Arrowhead, it seems like they actually care about respecting their fans, respecting the customer, and not trying to nickel and dime you, and charge you for every little thing, or charge you $20 for like a fucking color like in Halo Infinite. That was definitely not a good look for them. And I really appreciate the fact that, the CEO of this company and Arrowhead, it doesn't seem like they're doing that. You can go into the store and, the cosmetic things will cost like $2, $5. That's definitely understandable. That's definitely something that I can look at and I'm like, yeah, I don't mind buying that. If it's a sick piece of equipment, if it's something that I think looks dope and I want to rock it, yeah, I'm going to get it. And on top of that, if I know I'm supporting a development team that actually respects me as a fan and respects my wallet, or at least I feel like they're doing that and they're showing that, yeah, why would I not want to buy things that are dope in the game that I already like playing? It just makes sense. But nowadays, we see it time and time again. So many countless AAA developers, or just developers in general in, the gaming space, in this industry, they don't understand, or it just seems like they refuse to understand how to just not try and charge you for everything and charge you just absurd prices for everything. And it's just really refreshing to see a development team, to see that they actually understand that, and I really appreciate that. And that's something that I don't mind doing, and for the future of the game, I personally don't want to see like collaborations happen, and I've seen a lot of people say that too, like, let's not make Helldivers 2 essentially Fortnite, where you're getting like different IPs coming in here and collabing. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I would love to play as an ODST as much as the next person, right? I would love to see that in this game, or maybe have like Doom armor be added, or the actual armor from the movie that I mentioned earlier. That'd be cool. But again, at what point do you just run the risk of oversaturating collaborations and losing originality, and also losing potentially a good amount of your player base, and making people feel like, okay, at this point it's just trying to be a cash grab with what they're doing, and trying to just capitalize on the popularity of the game by charging us for more things instead of actually improving the game. I'm not saying that that's what I see happening, because again, I can't reiterate that enough. I can't emphasize that enough, man. The actual CEO and, Arrowhead themselves, it seems like they know what they're doing, and it seems like they actually care about, respecting their fans, and I really appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that. But, I also can't lie. I feel like customization is something that needs to be emphasized on more in this game. Give us the ability to, mess with colors of our armor. Give us the ability to maybe even mix our own colors, and maybe even make our own camos that we could put on our helmets, or maybe make our own cape designs that we could later, actually make into capes. I would love to see all that. I think the potential here for customization is just through the roof, and I'm not the only one that's pointed that out. I'm not the first person to point that out, and I'm sure that I won't be the last one either, and I really hope that Arrowhead takes all the people that have mentioned this into consideration, because I feel like not only is it just huge potential for them to once again, fall into good graces with their community and show that they're actually willing to listen to their community, but I feel like maybe they could even monetize some things there too. Of course, I'm not asking for them to charge us for, the ability to change colors, no, but maybe they could give us like cape packs, or like visor color packs, or like different actual visors that you could switch in and out of different helmets. You could do so much here if you really break it down and go piece by piece on every single, individual Helldiver themselves. I think it's really cool, just the potential that they have there for customization. Honestly, apart from that, like, I really don't think there's anything that I'd like to see added to Helldivers right now. I'm just looking forward to the future of this game. It's clear that Arrowhead has a vision and knows what they're doing with this, and I think it's really cool how the live service model of Helldivers 2, at least in my opinion, it's really unique, because before playing this, at least I hadn't really played anything or heard of anything else that's done this before. I'm sure there's probably been other games that have done it, but having the live service model be an ongoing war that the developers are continuously updating and changing based on the actual performance and, the actual fighting and how many victories the player base actually has, I think that's really cool. I think that's a really smart way to implement the live service model. And not only that, it's just exciting to see how we're all doing, because every time you actually go to your map and you actually choose a new place that you want to drop on, or a new planet that you want to visit, you can actually see the progress for the liberation of those planets. You can see the progress for how much or how well we're actually performing as a player base. I think that is really cool, and it just adds that, again, it adds to that feeling of immersion that you're actually just a cog in the machine of this war. Humanity versus the Terminids, humanity versus the automatons. It's just dope in my opinion, dude. I can't emphasize emphasize that enough too, because I really thought that was something that, or at least, you know, playing the game for the first time, that was something that really jumped out to me, because I was like, wait, hold on, this is actually an ongoing war. Like, it was just really cool for me to see, and it's something that I think, you know, I'd like to see this be used in different games too, because I feel like there's a lot of potential here for other franchises and series as well, and only time will tell if anybody else actually picks this idea up and, you know, runs with it and actually does as good of a job as Arrowhead's doing here. But seeing that they're doing it, I can only look forward to the different sectors that we're going to get for the automatons, different sectors we're going to get for the terminants. Only time will tell how it's going to develop and how it's going to change, you know, as the battles and as the actual war goes on, but I'm looking forward to see how that's going to happen. But in all honesty, I don't think there's much left I can say about Helldivers 2. This game, for me personally, really came out of nowhere, and as of right now, it has me completely hooked, and I know I'm here to stay. I know I'm just looking forward to continue, you know, to play this game, continuing to fight this war along with everybody else who's playing this right now, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for this game, what's going to be added, you know, different planets, everything or whatever Arrowhead has planned for the future of Helldivers 2. I know I'm here for it, but let me know what you think about this game so far, what you think about the future for Helldivers 2, and if you've even had the chance to play this game. My name's Nico. Thank you so much to all of you for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, whatever it is you want to do. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one.